Hey guys, Jill from Whole for Life. Happy Monday. It is beautiful here. I hope it's beautiful where you are. I wanted to take a minute to get on and talk about a question that I am getting asked numbers and numbers of times. And so I guess it's time for us to discuss it. I've sort of shied away from it just because. So I am not here to diagnose, treat, or cure you. These are my opinions only. I am not your doctor. I'm not anyone's doctor. But I have gotten just today, I counted 18 messages with the same question. And it is about a therapy. I know in certain platforms get banned, the content gets banned if I say the word. So I'm going to say the patch therapy that historically has been used for those trying to quit smoking. Starts with an N, ends with a teen. So you should be able to pick up on that, what I'm talking about. Apparently, I'm not on social media really except to occasionally post pictures and to daily post informational content for Whole for Life. So I am not aware of what is trending virally and all that kind of thing. But apparently this therapy is being talked about in a viral fashion right now. This is not new therapy. It kind of surprised me that it was being talked about so much. It's not a new therapy. Other countries have used this therapy for years to treat many, many things or to address many things. I'm not talking to you about diagnose, treat, or cure. And we at Whole for Life have used it. I have personally used it. I still periodically use it depending on if I'm having some issues or not. So I want to talk to you about the ways in which that can be used. And again, these are my opinions, but all of my opinions are evidence-based. So first of all, I want to say, just so in case you don't listen to the rest of my video, you will hear me say, you never, ever, I do mean never, start with a full patch. Most of those are 21 or 28 milligram patches. The extra strength patches or the highest dosage patches. You never start there. If I were giving you hypothetical information about how to use that, I would say you would cut a 21 milligram patch into 6 at least, if not 8, depending on what we're addressing. And you would start there. I would also say you would start with 12 hours on, 12 hours off. You would absolutely not wear it for 24 hours. Eventually, there have been studies to prove that it actually helps with your circadian rhythm and helps you to sleep better and helps you get into deeper sleep. But in the beginning, almost everyone, it does affect your sleep negatively because it really does, for most people, give them good energy, good focus, increases metabolism. So you just don't want to wear it all the time. You just need to walk into that type of a therapy very slowly and intentionally. And you also need to work with someone, doesn't have to be me, but you need to work with someone that knows how to help you with that because different needs require different dosage and that sort of thing. I am understanding that the viral nature of this is about the long C from the virus of 2020 or 2019 or 2018, depending on what you believe and what you read, or what you've experienced. But that virus and those long-term effects of that apparently is why it's viral. This therapy has been used very successfully for a lot of other things, like the other big C, that is atypical rogue cells in the body, for hyperactivity, for attention issues, again, trying not to get banned because apparently it's a hot topic right now, for weight management, appetite suppression, hormone balancing, inflammation control, yes, sleep, arthritic issues, and I'm drawing on information from other countries, what they have used this successfully for. So it's not new, and it is a tool in the toolbox. Please understand that it is not the one-stop shop. It is not the only thing very likely that you're going to need or utilize. The other thing you need to understand about the substance in those patches, the first word, it starts with an N, ends with a teen, that is found in foods, lots of foods. It is not habit forming. It is not carcinogenic if you're getting pure that. If you are smoking that, for example, they are adding preservatives, carcinogens, and it absolutely is habit forming, addictive, and has been irrefutably linked to cancer. If you're talking about the pouches or the dip, that dip stuff, additives sprayed with glyphosate and all kinds of chemicals, definitely can be carcinogenic, definitely can be addictive. So we are not talking about that. I am strictly talking about the 100% pure patches. That is not addictive. And now, having said that, I think there's a group of people that shouldn't be using this therapy. One is uncontrolled high blood pressure. If you know that you have high blood pressure, you're not doing anything to control it, or it's not controlled with the things you are doing, then while some studies show us that over time this therapy could potentially lower your blood pressure in a healthy way. In the beginning, if you're totally uncontrolled, I really would suggest you either, whatever your thought process is, either go the Western route, get some medication if that's what you choose, or try some herbs, some natural things to lower your blood pressure, and get that into a decent parameter. My parameters aren't always going to match up with what your traditional doctors say that your blood pressure should be, but definitely not uncontrolled. Certain addictive disorders, you don't want to use this therapy just because of the mechanism of action in the body. So, and of course, pregnant or nursing, I would say absolutely not to. That's just my philosophy on that. And again, that's my opinion. You don't have to take that for fact. So, but having said that, the things I can tell you with the people that have chosen to use this that are affiliated with Whole for Life, and again, I cannot stress enough, it doesn't have to be me, but you do need to really consider at least consulting with someone who is versed in this, who understands the mechanism of action, who understands other herbs and supplements or medications that you're on, health issues, that kind of stuff. So I wouldn't go this alone. I really wouldn't. And I wouldn't get my advice from me or from anyone else on a social media platform other than general information. And that's all this is for you, is general information. I would never, and I do mean never, dose you or recommend for you or anything on a social media platform. So don't ask me that in the comments. I'm giving you very broad information. The one thing I can tell you consistently, those of our patients who are either choosing a traditional GLP, like the prescription version, or a compounded version, or if they're choosing the pure peptides like what we use for GLP or GIP or both, I can tell you that the people that are candidates for and choose to use this therapy alongside that are requiring so much less in the way of dosage. So they just don't need nearly as much of the GLP peptide or even the medication or the compound. So that is one thing I can tell you. Hormone stabilization, we actually have some documented studies of that where we have checked people's hormone levels before, during, and then after use for quite some time, and not used anything else to balance hormones. And I will say we've seen some very positive results there. Weight loss in the way of just using the patch, I don't have any data to share with you about that because most of my people are at very least implementing a couple other things alongside it. But does it help potentiate that? Yes, I believe so based on what we're seeing. Inflammation, I would say so. Sleep eventually, I would say so. Again, I would start very intentionally with using this. I'll probably make a part 2. I had so many questions about this that I'll probably make a part 2, maybe even a part 3, talking more specifically about certain issues that you would use this for. The long C thing, most of the time with that is a huge conversation. We're talking about shedding. We're talking about what proclivities you had toward autoimmune and things of that nature before you ever got C. Whether you got the wild C, meaning it just happened for you, or whether you got the sticky that then led to problems for you, and both of those are handled differently, but both of those have shown great success with using this therapy. It is an over-the-counter therapy. You can go it alone. I wouldn't recommend that. I would recommend you talk with someone who understands the mechanism of action again, and who understands how to use that with other things, or in conjunction with other things to help you. But yes, it is a legitimate thought process. I haven't watched the videos again, so I don't know what's being said out there. But I can tell you that this is a therapy that's been used by other countries for years. It's a therapy that's been used at Whole for Life, or for me. I'll stick with just me. And there is some real hard data out there about it. So, and nicotine-rich foods. Oh, shoot, I said the word. Well, we'll see what happens. But that rich foods are sometimes not, some people aren't able to use those because they're also, most of them are nightshades. And so this is kind of a workaround with that too. I'll make a part 2, 3, 4 if y'all want it. Have a great day.